Okay, we're using a block. All right. If you don't have a block, you can use some books that stack up to that. We're going to use it for something a little different this morning. We're still working with the balance, still working with a bit of the core work to get the balance, but a little bit more of into the balance this morning, a little bit more concentration, okay, a little bit of back bending as well. It's, as you know, the whole body's connected. So anything that we do in one part of the body affects another part of the body. But when we're balancing, as we're going to be balancing this morning, being able to control the back bend, being able to control that movement, that flexion of the spine, using the core muscle groups, so the core and the pelvic floor, is going to be really key to the practice this morning. We're going to start easy seated and just find a comfortable seat, cross-legged, palms up, shoulders back and down. Taking some deep breaths. Breathing in and out. And then after a few breaths, it's wonderful after a few breaths, you start to really then notice the belly and the ribs. So really draw your breath in here. Slightly easier than lying down because we're not going against gravity, but you can just expand the ribs to the outside of the room. And just finding that peace in the mind. Excuse me. And then interlace your fingers, push your palms down towards the floor, and then elevate your arms up over your head. Now, if you find that you're kind of stuck there with your shoulders, you can bend the elbows if you wish, or you can just lift the arms, separating the palms like that, however you feel comfortable. I mean, we just want to breathe really deep into the side of the ribs here. Good. And then pushing your chest through, and then exhale. As we exhale, drawing your arms down in front of you as you roll back down onto the tail. Again, inhale, lift. Exhale. So we're using the arms to do our cat-cow. As you can feel, it means you've got to really use those core muscles. So your pelvic floor is lifted. You're flexing into the spine. You'll get that movement. So keep going like this. 2 more. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhaling. Exhale. Good. Let's get up to the thoracic spine now. So lift and bring the hands behind the back of the head. Elbows pull back to bring those shoulders back and down. Navel to spine this time. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale from side to side into the thoracic. Oh, it's really a little stiff in the morning. But notice how controlling that movement with the core just helps you get a little bit deeper. Lovely, really nice. Inhale, exhale. Lovely, good. Coming back. Last one, on to the right. Coming back, beautiful. Fingertips down, depress down into the earth. And then we'll do the cervical spine this time. So just like the cat-cow, we're just going to move the head up and down. So this is really strong on the core. We want to keep the lumbar spine and the thoracic spine perfectly still. And so we're just moving into the neck. Lovely. And then a little nod from side to side. That one's always the one that you feel, it's right at the base of the cervical spine. As it starts to meet the thoracic, you can feel, and then it eases. As soon as that eases, you feel a little bit of freedom then in the shoulders. Rotate the shoulders back. And then come and bring your hands down to come onto your tabletop position. We did this one on Wednesday, but it's a really nice warm-up. So bringing your knees wide, toes together, and rotating into the hips. Get that big rotation. It's a lovely way to warm up the hips. You can feel that little, sometimes you get a little clunk as you go round, as you push your hips out to the side. You can hear that ball and socket joint moving, and then come back the other way. Breathing as we go. Lovely. And then this time a little bit different this morning. Bringing the knees back. Walk the knees a little bit further back and walk the palms a little bit further forward. So you've got more of a half trapezius shape of the body. And then we're just going to rock the hips up and down. So you come to devotional, not all the way down to the floor, lifting through the core, dropping the hips down, squeezing the bottom tight as you do so. So just make sure that you're not just dropping the hips down without engagement. It's a really strong core engagement and it's a really strong glute engagement. So we drop those hips down. Lovely. And again, coming all the way down this time and then reaching forward with your right arm, roll to the right. Kick your heel into your left glute. Support your palm on the floor and just do little kicks, kicking that heel, getting into the thigh. That's all we're going to do here for the moment. 3, 2, 1, and then roll onto your belly, reach forward with the left arm, support with the right arm, and just kick that right heel in, getting right into that thigh. 3, 2, 1, good. Onto the belly, palms just around the base of the ribs, tuck the elbows in, lifting up to your upward facing dog, bringing those hips back, and then straight away, left leg back onto those left toes, pulsing into that left calf and into the back of the left leg. I'm feeling that the first couple of pulses feel quite stiff, don't they? But again, we did this one on Wednesday, but this is really key for our practice this morning. So bringing the right foot out to the side, turn onto the instep of your left foot, and then just peel open with your whole body to the left. And then again, kicking that heel up. So bring your hand onto your waist, just kick the heel up. 3, 2, 1, and then hold it there, taking hold of the foot or the ankle, and then peel open. Now, as you do so, gaze down towards the floor to get that back bend. Actively draw your elbow and your shoulder back on the left side and squeeze tight into that left glute to hold that position. Deep inhale. And then exhale, release that. You can feel, oh, the breath coming straight away. So come onto the right toes now. Little pulses, opening up through the back of the leg. 3, 2, 1. And bring those left toes out to the side. Turn onto the instep of that right leg. Hand onto the waist, nice and strong now through that left-hand side. Squeeze the bottom and little flicks of that heel up towards the bottom, just to open up that thigh, and then kick it up, take hold of the foot and the ankle, and then open your chest, push your chest towards the front of the body, and then gazing down towards that left palm. Keep firm and solid on those left toes, squeezing the bottom. Lovely. Exhale, bringing your palms down. A little skip up now. So round into the spine, into your cat pose, and lift up your knees and a little downward facing dog. It's quite shallow, so because you've got your palms closer towards the body. And then bring your feet wide, turn your heels in, and little bounces then onto the heels. So you find in this position probably that your heels get a little further toward the mat. Good. And then walk your palms forward to the top of the mat and then step through in that same position with your feet. And then we're just going to pulse the bottom. So we've got our palms onto the floor. The knees are bent as much as you need to, but as we pulse it, we're getting into that hamstring now, which is really tight sometimes first thing in the morning. So we just want to ease it open. And you start to find it, you start to fatigue a little bit as we're pulsing here. So then we slowly going to stand up. So tuck the belly and the ribs, bring your hands onto your knees. And for the first elevation, we can do this quite passive. So pushing into the knees, stick your bottom out behind you. And then tuck under with the tail, tuck under with the ribs and the chin. Inhale, pushing through, and exhale. And again, inhaling. And exhale, rounding through the spine. Hug the inner thighs. Lift yourself up as you roll your shoulders back and down. Arms lift. Exhale. Coming to Samastiti. Good. Give yourself a little shake there. So hopefully spine, everything is now warmed up. So we're going to take our block now for the first time this morning. And I want you to place it right at the top of your mat in the center. Okay. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place the left foot onto the block. Okay, so what you notice straight away, now have your foot on the block or whatever you're using, if you're using books, so your heel is on it and the pad of the foot underneath is on it. If your toes are peeping over the top of it, that's fine. I'd rather that than your heel being off the back. So you want to have the heel planted. The right knee is bent, hands onto the waist. Now the tendency is to lean forward here. So we need to get really strong into our core. So as we push into the block, come onto the tippy toes and then lean back just a little bit. Draw your navel in towards your spine. Now it's a little different on the block. There's a little give on the block as well for your support. And then we just toe tap. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Good. And dismount. And then we bring the right foot on and we toe tap. Now use the core. Lean back a little bit. It'll switch your bottom on. Okay, it's a little bit different standing on the block. Good. Dismount and come back to the other side. 1, 2, and 3. Lift it up and hold it there. Now lean back just a little bit. See if you can extend that leg out in front of you. Good. Exhale, release. And coming on to the other side. Firm it up through the core. 1, 2, 3. Lift it up, leaning back, squeezing that glute nice and tight, and extend that leg. And exhale, release. Good. Okay, so we still got the block here in front of us. So we just do one more on each side. Step it up. Step it up. Just doing like step aerobics here. Okay, and then step it up, right foot down, left leg lifts. And then step it back to a high lunge. Now you're still on your block on the front there with your right foot. Pushing back into that left heel, little pulses. 3, 2, 1. And then straighten out that front leg. Okay, so you've got straight legs, both sides, and then leaning back with the shoulders hugging into those inner thighs. Taking a deep breath. Good. And then exhale, sinking low. As you do so, bring your palms down. And then slowly walk your foot so the heel is down and the toes are on the block. And then get a little extension through the back of the leg. Now, don't worry if your knee's bent. My knee's bent here. That's absolutely fine. We're just getting into those hamstrings. Good. And then taking the block away, step that left foot back a little further to get deep into your lunge pose. And then again, we're going to pulse the hips. So bring the hips back. Try and keep the foot on the floor on the right hand side if you can. If you do need to lift the toes, then do so. We pulse it. 3 and 2 and 1. And then bringing that left knee down. Come on to the top of that left foot. Squeeze the bottom tight. Lift it up. And leaning back, coming right into that left thigh. Squeeze the bottom and then release. As you release, stepping it back with that right knee. Now you can lower down into your chaturanga from here, or if you want to, come into a plank pose. Don't lift the bottom, just come onto the toes, lift the knees in your straight plank, soften the elbows and bring your weight forward as you soften your elbows towards you and lower down into your chaturanga. Good. Now come on to your left forearm. So bring the left forearm across so it's parallel to the top of the mat and roll over onto your left hip. Bring your right foot down onto the mat in front of you. Support yourself with your right hand. Lift the pelvic floor and then start to lift that left leg. Little pulses. That's just getting into the side of the leg, into the side of the hips. Good. 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Roll on to your belly and then bring your right forearm across. A little putty cat there. And then bring your left leg across and then pulse it with the right. Use the core to get that lift. It's quite strong. 3, 2, 1, and then rolling onto your belly. Palms by the ribs, elbows tuck in, lifting up to upward facing dog, pop onto the toes and push back to your down dog. Again, little pedals. You can bring your feet wide and bounce into the heels if that's nice for you. And then bringing your feet back parallel, walk a little bit further and lifting your left leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee, bring your weight through and then step it through into your high lunge. Taking your block, place the block underneath the toes and then just pulse it. So we're doing everything in reverse. Pulse it, pulse it, pulse it. 3, 2, 1. Good. Now hop that right leg forward a little bit, placing your left foot onto the blocks. You might need to do a little heel toe and then pushing down into the block to come up to your high lunge with your left foot on the block. It feels a little weird, doesn't it? Notice how it makes you a little unstable. So squeezing the glutes, pulling up the pelvic floor is going to make it feel a lot stronger. And then just little pulses. 3, 2, 1, and straighten out that front leg as you lean back just a little bit. Lovely, and then soften the knee, and then stepping it through, lifting your right leg up, stepping it down. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. A little bit harder now. Okay. So we're going to start on lifting the left leg. So put your right foot onto the mat. Okay. And then pushing down. So we're starting, once you've done this a few times, you get a little bit of your mind starts to relax a bit. The first time you do something that's new, a little bit of fear creeps in and your body starts to compensate. But now your mind's going, okay, it's the block thing again. Let's chill out. So push down into the block. Make sure the heel is on there. Push into the heel. Now, it's really important. The block should give you a little bit of give so you can feel that. Squeeze the bottom, lean back just a wee bit, and then we're just going to lift with that left leg, nice and slowly. Good. Now tuck the belly and the ribs in as you do so, and then reach down for the ankle and hug the thighs together. Squeeze the bottom tight and push the hips towards me. Amazing. Take a deep breath and release. Yeah. Okay, the other side. So it's harder, isn't it? Bringing your left foot on. Elevate up, get nice and firm. Push down, really push down into that heel. And then lift it up slowly, taking your time, get your balance. When you've got your balance, reaching down for the ankle, pulling the thighs together, push the hips forward. So you lean back just a little bit. Do this one side on so you can see you've got that lean back. And it holds you in position. One more breath. Good. And then we're going to step it back with the right leg. Okay, so we're stepping it back now into our warrior two position. So we turn on that back foot. Again, the front foot is on the block. So you might find, as we usually do, we walk our foot along toward the right-hand side if our knee is caving. So you might want to move the back foot this time, parallel to the floor. So when you bend that knee, it's over the foot, but it's elevated. Again, it's slightly elevated. It's like you've got a big wedge on, but you can feel it very different. You should feel it more on the outside of the hip here. So push down into that right heel, push down into that left heel, hands onto the waist, sink into that left knee and lifting up into your warrior two pose. It's different, isn't it? It feels much stronger on that left side. Keep leaning to the back. And then again, we're just going to pulse that. Pulse it. Straightening out the leg and bending into the knee. So it comes to a kind of a triangle. We're not leaning into the triangle, but we're just straightening out the leg. And then we sink into our warrior two. Now we're going to turn the whole upper body towards that left leg, bring the palm onto the thigh or the knee and straighten that leg, coming to your reverse Trikonasana. So squeeze tight into the inner thighs. That elevation of the block should give you much more of a lift so you can get into that hamstring. Good. And then slowly exhale, lower down, slide down. As you do so, lift up that right heel and turn to face the mat with your hips, squaring it on, and then stepping it back, either to kneeling position or to a plank position. Keep that bottom down if you're in plank. Don't have that tendency to stick it up in the air. You can bring your knees down, bring in your elbows in, and then into your chaturanga. Good. Keep your block handy. And again, we want to bring the left forearm across the mat. Okay. So you're elevated up. So make sure the elbow's beneath the shoulders. You're elevating up. And then bring your knees in. Okay. Keep the feet and the ankles together. And then we're just going to peel open with that right knee. Again, you're feeling it on the outside of the leg. It's working. Lift the pelvic floor, navel to spine. So you've got that core working for you. 3, 2, 1. And then release, coming over onto your right hand side. Bring the knees up, keep the feet together, and then just open with that left eye. 3, 2, 1, and then coming back. Bring your block back into position. This is going to be quite gymnastic. Okay, hands underneath by your ribs, tuck your elbows in, lift up to your upward facing dog and push back to your downward facing dog. A couple of little bounces here. Now bring your block into the center of the mat in front of you. And you can either come here from kneeling, as always, you can step it through, or lifting up that right leg. Bend the knee and then step it through. Now we want to get that step onto the block. So when you step it through, you may find that you're not reaching the block. So just hop forward, just so you can get that right foot onto the block. Hop back, turn on that back foot and come up to your warrior 2. There's a little bit of gymnastics, as I say. Get that position with your back foot this time so that your knee is over the foot. Here in the groin here, little pulses. And again, lifting it, we're just going to straighten and bend into that front leg. Much more emphasis on the knee and the groin when the heel is and the foot is lifted. 3, 2, 1. Sink into your warrior 2 pose. Take a breath. And then exhale, rotate all the way around. Bring in your left palm onto your right knee. Straighten up that right leg, coming into your reverse triangle pose. Nice deep breath. Lovely. And then slowly bring in your palms down, root down into the block, and then step it through. You can step it through straight up to standing if that's available to you, and then dismount very elegantly. Okay, where are we going now? So coming onto your block. It's a little bit of a peak pose this morning. Bringing your left foot onto the block. So where are we? We're standing up. We're pulsing, we can do that. Okay, we can lift the knee and we can take the ankle and bring the thighs together. Okay, now soften into that front knee. Lean forward, keep the heel in towards the bottom. Leaning forward, pull up the pelvic floor, pull the navel to spine, and then reach forward with that left arm. And then push your foot into your hand as you push down. Now keep pushing down into the block. The block will give you a bit of give for your balance. Good. And then dismount. Amazing. Come on to the other side. Dancer. I'll do this one side on. So this time, right foot on. Take your time. Lifting up. Taking the ankle. Thighs together. Bottom switches on. Navel to spine. And then lean forward. Keep using the core as you lean forward. Keep pushing down into the block. Lift through with your right arm. When you've got that balance, push the foot into the hand, coming to your Natarajasana, she says, so she dismounts from the block. Keeping my balance, trying to talk and balance at the same time. Holding it there, and then release. Good. Okay, still staying with the block. Again. We lift, march it, from one side to the other. This time, I want your arms out to the side. Give you that freedom. Lovely. Okay, so now we can take the block away, thankfully. We start at the top of the mat, roll the shoulders back and down, rooting down through the feet. Bend into your left knee, lift your left knee up, bring the knee out to the side and bring your foot onto that right leg. Push the leg and the foot together as you lean back, lifting up into your Vrksana tree pose. And then slowly exhale, drawing your palms to your shins and draw the knee in. Keep balancing, keep pushing down into that right leg, taking hold of the ankle, bringing your thighs together. Keep looking down to the floor and then bend into that standing. And we're going to reach to the floor. You can reach to the block if it's still there for you. Keep tucking the belly and the ribs, coming all the way down, pushing down into the mat with that right hand. Keep that right leg bent and then start to straighten it up, keeping that left foot to the bottom. Squeeze it tight, 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 tight. Lift the pelvic floor. And then exhale, bringing that foot back down to forward fold, rolling up through the spine. Good, roll the shoulder back. Great balance. I'll do this one with you. Okay, so we're going to do that the same on the other side. So rooting down through the feet. This time coming onto your left leg, bend the right knee. And lift, lift, lift. Push it out to the side. Foot and thigh come together. If it's on the knee, don't worry. As long as you're engaging your inner legs and your bottom, you're not going to be pushing into the knee joint. Good. Lifting it up. And then using your control, bring your knee up and then hug your leg in towards the body, taking the ankle, keep breathing, keep using the core and the pelvic floor, keep that foot into the bottom, bend into that standing leg, reaching to the floor now, control it with the core, good. As you come down, when you get your hand down to the floor, push into the earth with that standing leg, straighten it up, keep the bottom in, coming to that sugar cane, and then step it back to your downward facing dog. Little pulse, 3, 2, 1. Bringing your knees down, wide knees, toes together, coming to your devotional pose. Super balance. Concentration with the mind and the body requires that ability to match the two in your practice superbly. And then coming back to a neutral position, bringing your legs back in front of you. Give them a little shake out because they've worked hard. That was incredible. Notice how, though, the block makes a huge difference to your balance. It makes you really think a little bit harder. Okay, so we're just going to bring our knees up towards us and then come and roll back onto your back, arms to the side, and we're just going to drop the knees from side to side, coming into a supine twist. Lovely drop from left to right. And then cross the ankles over, fingertips behind the knees, roll it up to a seated position, rooting down through the fingertips. And then just a little bend of the neck. And a big yes. And bring your left hand across, reaching over with your right arm. Coming back over the left. Lifting up as you twist to the left. Lift and twist to the right. Palms onto the knees. Cat-cow with the lumbar spine. 2 movements. And then lifting up. Bringing your palms together and exhale. Draw them to your heart. As you bow your head to your heart, bring your heart to the earth. Namaste.